What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And folks, New York Times tech workers go on strike the day before the election. This is craziness, y'all. This is craziness. Now, we've been hearing from all these economists that Kamala Harris's plan is way better than Donald Trump's. Well, hang on. If Kamala Harris's economic plan is so great, how come it hasn't been implemented already? How come you've allowed Joe Biden to absolutely destroy our economy? Which, by the way, they're trying to lie to you, lie to your face, saying, oh, the economy's great. Look at the stock market. Look at the jobs numbers that they lied to you about. They've had to be revised time and time and time again. I almost covered a story the other day where the job numbers for October were revised from somewhere like 100,000 down to guess how much? 12,000. That's absurd. That is outright absurd. That was apocalyptic job numbers for October. And you're wanting us to believe that the economy is doing good? You're wanting us to buy into that garbage, because that's outright garbage. Okay, so if the economy is good, this story is fascinating as hell, y'all. Very fascinating. But you know what else is fascinating? Subscribing to this channel. I cover manipulations by the corporate press constantly. I let you know how you're being manipulated by these people. So if you're new around here and you don't want to be manipulated by the corporate press, you want that stuff pointed out to you so you can look for it yourself, subscribe. Smash that subscribe button for me. And if you don't mind, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys could smash that like button. I would really, really appreciate that. I need the help, y'all. I really, really need the help. And y'all share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. But no further ado, let's get into this right quick, because the Times Tech Guild, a group representing more than 600 software developers and data analysts at the New York Times, went on strike on Monday morning just as the paper prepares for a boost in readership on Election Day. Now, this is very indicative of a bad economy, and you'll see this. This is more evidence. Once again, in case you haven't heard, there's been several union strikes in the past, 2 months? Several union strikes, major union strikes. And here's another one. Unions do not go on strike when the economy is doing good. We are on unfair labor practice strike, the Guild posted on X. We gave the New York Times management months of notice of our strike deadline. We made ourselves available around the clock, but the company has decided that our members aren't worth enough to agree to a fair contract and stop committing unfair labor practices. The main issues, according to the Times report on the matter, comes down to pay increases, return to office policies, and whether union members can get a just cause provision in their contract barring them from being fired unless it's for misconduct or another such reason. Now, once again, this is indicative of a piss-poor economy when they're wanting pay raises. When they're not giving them enough money, what does that tell you? Inflation has ravaged everybody from the middle class down. And do you really think that Kamala Harris is going to be able to turn this thing around? Once again, I pose the question to anybody that thinks that, how come they haven't done it already? That's just what I would love to know from these people. Like, do you really think that Kamala Harris is all of a sudden going to turn things around from where Joe Biden is? Like, so if you think that, okay, let's work with this. Let's work with that premise. You think that Kamala Harris is going to turn things around. Okay, so let me ask you this. Why has she allowed Joe Biden to absolutely wreck our economy with these piss-poor economic policies? $1.8 trillion deficit spending is absurd. You can't argue with that. It's outright absurd. And that is up from $1.5 trillion. Right? Now, I'll make the argument 980 $4 billion deficit spending is not very good, which is what Donald Trump left office with. Okay, so we had a global pandemic. We had to shut the economy down. He fired it right back up and was getting it back on track. When you hand that over to another administration, you don't increase the deficit by 50% when it is $984 billion. That's absurd. Why would Kamala Harris allow Joe Biden to do this? Please, somebody, answer me that down in the comments section. I would love to know that. Please. It's absurd. It's outright absurd to think that Kamala Harris is going to turn this around, bring down the deficit, and get the economy back on track. No, I'm sorry. You can't sell me that. I am not going to buy into that. That's just garbage, if you ask me. It's ridiculous of you to think so. Don't let your bias fool you. Just because you hate Donald Trump doesn't mean he's not going to do good with the economy. And the economy is the top issue right now. I love all these polls coming out saying, oh, well, Kamala Harris is doing so good on abortion and democracy. Well, guess what? Those aren't the top issues. The border, the economy, and foreign war, World War III, is what people are actually worried about. Yeah, they're not worried about abortion. Some people are. I don't know why, though. It makes absolutely no sense. These people are crying and screaming about abortion. Like, really? Listen to yourselves, people. Listen to yourselves. You're advocating for murder. That's what you're doing. I know some people don't see it that way. I understand that. I'm a man of compromise. Hey, you want 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks? That's fine with me. That's fine. Whatever. You want exceptions for the big three? Sure. I'll give you those regardless of how many weeks. I'll give you those regardless, just outright, because we should have exceptions for those. We most certainly should have exceptions for all three of those. A deal was being negotiated as late as Sunday night, but talks broke down. The union initially voted to authorize a strike on September 10th, with the union aiming for the days leading up to the election when there's a readership surge. A readership surge, yeah. Usually around elections, yeah, you get a lot more readers because they're more worried about politics and all this stuff, who to vote for and all that stuff. Good. From the Times side, they were offering a 2.5% annual wage increase, a minimum 5% pay increase for promotions, and a $1,000 ratification bonus. We are disappointed that the Tech Guild leadership is attempting to jeopardize our journalistic mission at this critical time, Hannah Yang, the Times chief growth manager and customer officer, and Jason Sobel, its chief technology officer, said in a joint statement. Oh, they're so willing to jeopardize our journalistic mission. You mean y'all put out some garbage, y'all? I ain't gonna lie. The New York Times, they do a lot of good reporting, but they also put out a lot of heavily biased garbage. Monday's strike comes on the same morning the Times reported it surpassed 11 million subscribers for the first time ever during the third quarter. In Q3, the paper reported sales of 104.2 million, up from 16.1% year over year. That's insane. 100 for a newspaper. A newspaper, y'all. That's absurd. Of course, they have online articles and they get paid from that too. But that's obscene, if you ask me. 104.2 million. Wow. And here's a post from Alistair Cote? Not sure. Today I'm supposed to be in the NYT newsroom putting the finishing touches on a system pushing live election updates to your phone. But NYT management refuses to give us the same just cause protection our News Guild peers have, so at NYT Guild Tech is on strike. That is right, y'all. That is right. So once again, bring it back to, if the economy is doing so good, like all these people keep telling us, like the mainstream news keeps telling us, the Biden administration, they all keep telling us this. If the economy is so good, why would you go on strike? Over pay increases. Yeah, if you're getting paid and you're making money hand over fist, you're not going to go on strike. I'm sorry. That's absurd. Pay increases. 2.5% is what the offer was. I wonder what the counter was. They didn't put that in the article, and I don't know why. I would love to know what they want. That seems fair to me. It seems really fair. It seems like a really fair deal. But this, once again, this is indicative of a bad economy. And once again, I pose the question to you guys. Do you think that Kamala Harris is going to come in and turn this thing around? And if so, why hasn't she done it? I don't get it. I don't get the people that think that Kamala Harris is going to be a better president than Donald Trump. And that's what we're voting on, remember? Today is election day. You got to go vote today. And we're going to see who's going to win, y'all. We are going to see who is going to win. And I think that's all I got for this one. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. I am very interested into what you have to say and who you voted for. Let me know down in the comments. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.